Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's that time again, folks. Time for the world famous motion picture Retribution Power Hour, presented to you by the illustrious Evening Brothers. Take it away, band.
Welcome, everybody, to the Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour. We're doing it. We're here. We made it.
We're doing it right.
We're doing it smooth.
Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour.
We're doing it sexy.
We're doing it soft and
Lincoln,
slow.
is there a way I can turn just you down? Because you're like twice as loud as John is.
I think I'll just talk a little quieter.
I've asked that every day of my life, and it's just never happened.
Welcome, everybody, to the Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour.
Preston's putting on an NPR voice.
Here we're talking about the effect that Garfield 2, A Tale of Two Kitties has had on regular Americans.
And also Lincoln's penis. So, Garfield...
It has had no effect.
I disagree. So, we watched Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties. I'm sorry that I did this. I watched this movie. I got it from the library a lot as a kid, and I remember thinking that this was a humdinger of a film. And let me say, just off the bat, it is not. I was distinctly wrong about that.
Terrible.
Yeah, what did we, just first impressions overall, what did we think?
It doesn't feel like a movie. It doesn't feel like it doesn't. I watched the whole thing, and then I was like, was that it? That's like the whole thing? It's like an episode of DuckTales.
Sure.
Like, it's nothing.
I actually think that is selling it a little high. I think calling it an episode of DuckTales.
I think it's actually unfair to DuckTales.
Yeah.
DuckTales has a lot.
Yeah,
I would say
DuckTales has much better jokes.
it's like a lesser episode of maybe 3, 2, 1 Penguins. I think I would accept that.
Kick Batowski.
You know, I had this weird thing while watching it because the movie is absolutely dog shit. Don't get me wrong.
Hey,
but I kept having weird moments.
Hey, there's a dog in there.
Oh, my apologies.
Bullshit. Oh, wait, no, that's a phrase.
This is true, which I have so many things to talk about with the dogs in the movie. But there's so many like random weird moments from this movie that somehow ended up in some like DVD intro.
Yeah.
To like every Disney movie
President,
ever.
I know exactly what you're talking about because the
Like,
take a picture, take it. That bit is seared into my brain.
So many. There was like multiple parts of this movie where I was like, holy shit, like that is buried very, very deeply in my subconscious, and I had no idea that was there.
I wish it wasn't where it is. I would like to just take a second because I think that we need to get in the right head. I think we're in the right head. We're in the right zone, but I need to sort of fine-tune our headspace here. It is the structural integrity of this podcast is so intrinsically linked to us getting so deep in the paint on the Garfield lore, because that's all my questions, all my comments. I just need you guys to be so ready to engage the fiction and the truth around this movie more than
of course.
we ever have. And to start
more
us
than
off,
we in our long off-air discussions about Garfield.
Yeah, in our many fan forum interactions.
Well, as a student of the comics, I take deep offense to this movie's
as a philosopher
heavy
of the
artistic
cast.
liberties.
As a surveyor of the Garf, I do find myself occasionally. Can I ask you guys a question just to get us started off?
As a Lasagnanaire myself,
Sorry. I wasn't prepared for Lasagnanaire. I feel like this is just where we need to start. Is what do you guys think are the rules of John and Garfield? Can Garfield hear John? Can John hear Garfield? Who understands who? Because it's unclear to me.
I am absolutely sure that all the animals can talk to each other, except literally none of them can hear Garfield because it never seems like he is capable. Or maybe they can hear him, but he can't hear anyone else because he never once directly addresses anything. He doesn't even directly address the camera. It's all like just spoken to the middle distance.
That's true. Yeah.
They just got Bill Murray really drunk and then just recorded whatever came out of his mouth, and that's the movie right there.
Well, it's kind of like how in Monsters Incorporated, all the sounds of the little girl in it are like a little girl who was actually just in a room playing, and they recorded her. They did that to Bill Murray in the same room.
They put him in a room with a bunch
5 hours later.
Just a bunch of blocks, Bill Murray and a bunch of blocks, and he's over there just being like, "Oh wow, England, baby."
And he's got vodka on an IV drip. Just
Did he also voice the cat of Carlisle?
the prince?
Okay,
Prince?
so
Yes, Prince,
no.
thank you.
And I'm
No, because-
excited about who did.
Because you got Bill Murray just literally phoning in everything that he ever said. Like, he was not sober for a single recording.
No.
And then Tim Curry just, like, put in his heart and soul into every goddamn line.
Tim
Okay,
Curry,
okay,
being
I don't
the
know.
anti-Bill Murray, I think. He's the negative version
Yeah.
of Bill Murray.
Right. Because I obviously did zero research into if Bill Murray voiced the other cat, which I was really hoping, and also yet not hoping that he had voiced the other one.
Okay, but Preston,
No, it's Tim Curry.
Preston, you
giving the
heard
performance of his life.
you heard Bill Murray, right? You've heard Bill Murray. You've heard of him,
Right.
for sure.
Yes.
And then you heard Tim Curry being the Cat Prince. You didn't know he was Tim Curry, but in what world did you go, yeah, that could be old Bill. That could be
I
classic
don't know. I've
Bill.
never heard Bill Murray give a British accent.
I've never heard Bill Murray give a performance.
I would say this is probably the least performance I've ever seen him give. Lincoln, I do agree with you. I think Bill Murray can, or Bill Murray. I think Garfield. It's the same, right? Bill Murray is Garfield. He's
Yeah.
just a cat in a human
Yeah.
skin bag. I do think no. I think Garfield can hear. I think he can hear. I think he just ignores everyone. That's my theory. Mm-hmm. Is that he's
Yeah.
aware of what's going on, and then he just sort of in a Deadpool way, he just doesn't care about it.
But not in the Deadpool sort of way, but he never, like, addresses the camera. You think he's breaking the fourth wall, but it never feels like he's talking to us. It feels like he's just talking.
That is true. in a
And I think-
psychotic Bill Murray kind of way.
It's so weird. Like, he makes all these jokes, and you're like, who is this for? Is this just for you?
Bill Murray is entertaining himself.
Yeah, he was entertaining himself the whole time he was recording.
Gross. I don't think Bill Murray's proud of this. I have some reason to believe that that we'll get to later.
Really?
But yeah, for sure.
I think the problem with centering your whole movie around a essentially sociopathic narcissist is, like, the stakes can never be that high for someone who literally could not care less if you live or die.
They don't. Yeah, the stakes couldn't be lower than this movie.
Yeah. I'm trying to even imagine, like, it'd be like if it was American Psycho, except he was too lazy to get out of bed, so he didn't kill anyone.
That's a
Except
bold comparison there, Lincoln.
It's just
Garfield
2 hours
and
of him being
Psycho?
like, "Man, I wish I could be killing people, but I can't. I'm too sleepy.
Ugh.
Too sleepy. Time
But
for
then I
bed."
have to go get up, and
Yuck.
yeah, like I can withstand 4 panels of that, but an hour and a half of that, you're like, it's just, I don't know. I think the only thing I'm gonna keep saying about this movie is it's nothing. The movie
Yeah,
is
no,
nothing.
it couldn't be less of a thing.
That's a good point. I do like that some executive at some point was like, hey, you know what we should do that would make a lot of money is take a comic strip that's all of 4 frames and make that into a whole ass movie.
2
And
movies.
somehow
A movie
it will be
and a sequel
entertaining
to
and
a
interesting
movie.
and have stakes.
And then a remake.
And then a remake somehow, which
well, a first
I
movie
haven't
and then a
seen.
sequel and then a remake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, you're missing several animated movies in between.
In between, yeah. Ugh.
So our movie,
Why-
Garfield, the tale of 2 boys and a cat. Two.
Wait.
Yeah,
I
what's up?
need to bring up something about the title.
Okay.
It's called A Tale of Two Kitties, but
is.
the plot is exactly like the I think it's the Mark Twain story, The Prince and the Pauper. And one of the cats is named Prince. So was it gonna be called The Prince and the Pussy and they chickened out of it?
Lincoln, I do believe that you're looking for the classic novel A Tale of Two Cities.
No,
Which-
I know that it's called A Tale of Two Kitties based on the book A Tale of Two Cities
Okay.
by whoever, that famous English guy
Oh,
who wrote
Dickens.
Frank
Charles
Herbert.
Dickens. But the plot, Frank Herbert. Hey, don't you even start about Frank Herbert. Ready? Look. Boom. Dune right here.
Wow, he's got
My
Dune.
microphone is
fucking
resting on Dune.
He fucking would.
The world is resting on Dune at this point. Cinema is resting on Dune.
Yeah, Lincoln, what in your opinion, how does the significance of this movie influence cinema today, including Frank Herbert's Denis Villeneuve's masterpiece Dune 2?
Sorry, I was just offered ice cream off screen.
And then you shushed them. You shushed whoever offered you ice cream, which is not the correct response.
I've got a podcast to record.
If somebody walked in with ice cream, I would not have shushed them. I would be eating ice cream right now.
I would never have shushed. I would never shush an ice cream. Never shush an ice cream in the mouth. That's what I always say.
Never shush an ice cream in the mouth?
Yeah. An ice cream in the mouth is worth 2 on the street from a small child. That's what I always say. That's my classic saying.
An ice cream from the mouth is like taking candy from a baby.
Candy from the mouth is like a baby from the ice cream. So Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties, starts with Garfield being sleepy and hungry and presumably, I don't know why I feel like he should be horny in these movies. He is. He's not, though, but he has the energy that he should be. He seems like he should be the horniest little guy, but he's not, and I'm confused by it.
Well, I think he is, and he just doesn't have the vocabulary to express it to us.
Actually, can I interest you in the idea that he's horny for food? He's just got a food fetish.
I think he does. That is true. The way that he talks to food. Actually, food is the only thing in the movie that he directly addresses.
That's true. He looks at food and says, true. "You are my love."
He directly
like
addresses the barnyard animals.
Does he though? Because I'm thinking about that scene, and he definitely just does like a quick 5 and then dips right out, and no one reacts, and he acts like he crushed it.
You're right. You're right.
So the movie.
I'm sorry. I should not be. I don't know why I was attempting to defend this movie.
Honestly, I don't know either. What is this? Rebel Moon Part 2? The Scar Boy?
You mean Rebel Moon Part 2? The Curse of Forgiveness? One of the 2 movies we're obviously gonna have been made to revisit.
You have no idea how badly I want to make you guys watch the 2 4-hour director's cuts.
What's so exciting is you have that control over us.
I know, I do.
We've put a system in place
I'm going
where
to
you could do
hold that over your heads as much as I need to.
So this movie starts with Garfield. He's vibing. He's being a guy. His owner, John, his owner, he's keeping it real, keeping it tight, keeping it strong. His owner is going to propose to someone 100 billion times hotter than him, and he...
That's true.
He doesn't want that to happen.
Like the best of us, you know?
like I did. That's all I'm saying. I have a note here that says there's nothing more diabolical than proposing to a girl either before or after eating an entire turkey you cooked for that night. Because that's the dish that John prepares, is just a whole ass turkey.
Yeah, a whole turkey. What's
the situation where you're like, I want to get you so fucked up on tryptophan that you'll say yes to me?
I think that's exactly the situation. He's had Garfield for so long that he's been convinced that food is the only way to win anything's love, including people.
Have we considered the possibility that it's just a house full of food addicts, like horny food boys?
Horny food boys. I mean, depends on how you classify Odie, but yeah, I would say horny food boys.
Odie doesn't eat in this movie at all, actually.
No, he doesn't. Odie's by such a wide margin my favorite part of this movie, because it's just a really, like in real life, it's just a cute, well-trained dog, and it's like, I love seeing a little dog do a good job.
I love that every other animal in this movie talks except for Odie.
Except Odie, he's just trying his best.
Is Odie smart though?
He does the right thing at the end. Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of turns around on us.
Yeah, he knows left and right, which for
he's the only character that has an arc.
That's true. Can I ask you guys a question? If Odie's smart, why no talk?
He chooses not to. Garfield is sucking all the air out of the room, and Odie's like, you know what? I'll just leave it be.
That could be. Is it possible that only stupid animals can talk?
Only stupid animals. The smart ones are the ones that choose to remain silent.
Yeah, that's right. Much like people, which is why we do this podcast.
That's why I don't talk very much.
Oh no, I hate that that's true.
It is true. We found a life truth in Garfield. I'm excited about that.
A life truth in Garfield. That's an episode title, I think.
Where are we at? Okay, so his girlfriend, I can't remember her name. Couldn't even begin to tell you. Liz. No. Thanks, Preston.
Liz.
So Liz,
a true
walks
Garfield
in
scholar would know that.
When
yeah,
John,
a true Lasagnanaire would know.
I'm sorry. You guys, I'm a real Garf head, but I'm just not that to the side characters, the ancillary characters.
Yeah, he's so concerned about Garfield himself that there's no room for anyone else.
I'm so into that tubby orange guy that I just can't focus on anything else. So Liz walks in and sees that John has set up a whole thing, and she walks in, says, "Hey, I'm going to London. Fuck you." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And so then she walks
she
out.
just leaves.
And she's gone.
What's the idea of like let's say that you were told that you got this like big trip that's all paid for, which we never get to see her display her knowledge or talent or skills or anything.
No, Lincoln, that's because she's a girl, and this is a movie about real boys. So she shouldn't have any.
But even so, imagine that you are talented enough to win the position to be able to speak at some conference, and then you go to your boyfriend's house, go, "I'm gotta go to London," and then you just leave. It's like I know we had this big dinner plan.
Dinner.
I don't have 40 more minutes today to get dinner and then pack.
She's gotta eat, right? Like, is she hitting an Arby's on the way back? Like, that, just eat the food that's there. Have the conversation.
So wait,
man.
Yeah. When you're at the Arby's, how long are you waiting in the driveway before you're like, shit, I could have just stayed. I could have just eaten at John's house.
I could have just eaten that food. I could have just eaten whatever delicious, I'm assuming well-rounded meal, because she, I presume, doesn't know that he just brought one giant fowl for dinner. Well, and also, like, how many candles is Arby's lighting for you? Because John lights 1 billion.
How many rose petals are lovingly strewn across the floor?
How many rose petals is Arby's giving you? Because it's almost none, I bet. And if it's some, you should probably
like one
call
or two
some health people. Yeah. And that's just a Valentine's Day special they do.
Yeah, Arby's is not going to treat you like my man John can.
No, they have the meats, but they don't have the heart. They don't have the feels.
Yeah. You know, whoever is playing John, I do admire his just like, I know I'm in a kid's movie. I know this is the stupidest movie ever. I'm just going to give it my all the whole time.
Oh, he's in it. I will say, weirdly, anytime John's on screen, I was kind of locked in.
Pretty much everybody except Bill Murray is like putting in the work.
Yeah, that's true, actually. And you kind of want to see everybody succeed. You want to see her do her big speech, which we don't. And you want to see that be extremely successful.
Yeah. You want to see Odie? He's doing such a good job. He's just a little guy.
You gotta see Odie. Gotta see Odie. Everybody has to see Odie. So John decides that the most unhinged decision a human being can make is the one I should do, and that's go to London while she's clearly stressed about something else, has a big opportunity. I'm going to go to London and make it about me, like a true white man. And
like a true patriot.
Like a true American. So he goes to London. Garfield sneaks in. There's a scene where they go to the vet, and Garfield breaks out of the vet. It's probably the least funny thing in the movie, I think. Like, just the least interesting thing that happens.
Well, it's like the most actively unfunny, because there's not really a lot of actually funny moments in this whole movie.
No, I would say there's probably 3 that are passable. Yeah.
Arguably, none of them involve Bill Murray.
There's maybe like 1 or 2 jokes where I was like, "Hey, that was a joke." Like I saw the construction of that joke.
Yeah,
you know, and the problem is they like they made a Prince, like a formerly, the artist formerly known as Prince joke.
That was
it.
I was like, that was the only
hey,
joke.
that's pretty clever. And then they make a second one all of like 2 minutes later. And you're like, oh, now neither of those are funny.
You could tell they thought it was funny. They're like, guys, this is a humdinger of a joke. This is a banger. We gotta go with it.
This is a hell of a joke.
Bill, can you do another bit about Prince for us?
I like to think.
One sec. I got so many Prince things. Oh, what? Wait, where am I?
I know.
That's
and then
weird.
Yeah, he said the second one, and suddenly
the
first one wasn't funny anymore. Like,
Lincoln, your Bill Murray sounded so much like Will Arnett that I just wasn't prepared for it.
You know what they say, shoot for the Bill Murray, and even if you miss, you might land on a Will Arnett.
That's what they say. So did TSA just decide fuck it that day? They were just like, oh, it's a cat and dog in there. Who gives a shit? Or alternatively, did John check an extremely carry-onable bag? Is he just like a psycho that's like, I have this very small bag of clothes. I'm going to check it. Who?
Okay,
why?
here's my theory that I just came up with 8 seconds ago.
Okay.
John is like fabulously, disgustingly wealthy.
Okay.
And so he did just check on that very carry-onable bag. He did have the money and resources to just book a trip to London and a hotel once he got there at the same place.
A nice hotel, mind you.
A really nice hotel. He does have the leisure to buy a whole turkey and ruin it and feed it to his cat.
I mean, I know it was
he feeds it to the
2006,
cat.
but
I think the cat just got horny and ate it.
Well, it's never a big concern for him.
This is true.
Preston,
But
I
he,
really
he
want...
he was flying
I really like
to London
I love
on
your
a
Control
minute's
F
notice.
hungry and Control R replaced with horny.
You're welcome. That was
I'm just
intentional.
excited that now, because I'm editing this, I get to just have my own ringtone of Preston being like, I don't think it was so much that he gave it to him. I think he just got horny and ate it.
But I have
it's
control
so good.
over my recording, so maybe I'll just go back and edit that out for you.
That's
You
sad.
give it a little the old snipperoo.
Yeah. I'll just up and hungry. This cat just got hungry. I might actually do that just because that'd be really funny.
That would be hilarious. I don't know. Something happens in Britain. Like, do we care about this movie? Do we care about the plot of this?
We have to go. We have to hit every beat.
We have to hit every beat. All right. So then he goes.
Let's
We have to
just,
hit both beats.
Yeah,
we're
goes
talking
to
about
England.
John. I had a brief moment where I got really scared that John was Tobey Maguire for just a moment.
Was this early in the movie or toward the end?
No. Like right when John gets introduced.
Okay. Man, I wish it
hang
was
on.
Toby. That would be amazing.
I think Toby actually would have. I was locked in with John, as Jonathan said, but I would be even more locked in if it was Toby.
I would be wired in. I would be hardwired.
I think all three of us would have already seen this movie if Toby was in it.
I would not have. I can say that with almost absolute certainty.
We'll see.
Not even for Toby?
No,
Do it for the Tobe.
I will not. Not quite as hungry for Toby as either of you are. Yeah, no, that one didn't work.
That's gross. That's a gross
Oh, man.
sentence.
Yeah, you should have just said horny at that point.
Yeah. Hungry for Toby, my autobiography. So
Hungry for Toby, horny for lasagna, the Garfield story.
Can that be the title?
Hungry for Toby. I mean, it must be. They're getting longer and longer, and I'm not sure I'm sad about that.
Well,
Our
it
search
might
engine
work for our
optimization is going
viewership
downhill.
to bring in the furries.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the people that are hungry for Toby.
Yeah,
Really
I didn't know
anyone.
that Venn diagram crossed so much was furries and
I was
Tobey
more
Maguire fans.
the horny for Garfield, but
I see. I don't know any furries, just but like guessing. Do you think they see Garfield as like blackface? It's like a horrible misrepresentation of their beliefs.
that is a hot take that I do not feel the need to explore at the moment.
Lincoln, I do know some furries, and I don't know if I have that answer for you, but there's a chance I could get it.
Please get back to me on that.
Yeah, I'll hit you up. I'll let you know. So they go to Britain. They go to London. There's not a bit where London Calling is played, and there's a montage, which I was honestly pretty proud of them for the restraint on that one.
For resisting.
Because is it probably that they couldn't afford the song? Yes, I assume.
Yes.
But it's good for them. I'm proud of them. Anytime a movie goes to London and there isn't that, I go, good job, movie. You did something right.
And also, I like that their establishing shots are actually the characters in the space instead of just like London stock footage. That was nice.
It's crazy. I can't believe that we haven't talked about this yet, but Garfield Uggo in this movie, he is fucking disgusting to look at. And he is an abomination.
Is like the reflections and the shadows and the like texturing is all like pretty well done. Like it's none of it's decent. Really egregious, but the character model they chose to insert into that render is so bad.
It's just okay. You guys remember when Sonic was coming out and there was like that first version of Sonic and the internet bullied everyone into making good, decent looking Sonic? The internet wasn't strong enough at the time when Garfield came out in the good old days, or the Wild Wild West when Garfield, The Tale of Two Kitties came out. But holy shit, we could have done something to make the eyes not look so Jeffrey Dahmer-ish, right? Like we could have. There's something we could do.
Part of me thinks that if he was, because he's the only animal in the whole movie, him and Prince are the only ones that are not just like actual regular animals with CGI mouth movements.
Actually, fun fact, Prince wasn't CGI. Prince was real. It was just Garfield that was CGI.
I almost wish they just had an orange cat. Like, I wish that they were just we're translating this to real life.
The only thing that would have been worse, or maybe better, I guess it's up to you, is if they had an orange cat that was like a regular orange cat, and then, like Venom, they put the eyes bigger on the orange cat. Just big
that's
CGI
perfect.
eyes.
That's exactly what I need.
I think that would have been pretty good. I'd like to see that. But it's funny to me looking at like this compared to the Scooby-Doo movies that came out. Mm-hmm. The way that they translated Scooby-Doo into those, I could talk about that for hours, but the way that they translated Scooby-Doo into those movies is so immaculate. Like, it's so well done that you genuinely forget that you're looking at a cartoon dog at some point. Mm-hmm. And then Disc is here in about the same time frame, and it's so like traumatizing to experience, especially now.
It's so uncanny.
I can't imagine seeing this on like a 20-foot screen, like 60 foot, like seeing this in IMAX. That would fucking blow my shit apart.
And not in a good way.
and not in the horny lasagna way, in the bad way.
Yeah, it's really ugly, and it's like, it's so out of place, and it feels so weird. It was this era of thinking that cartoons had to be converted directly into live action. And it was like, why couldn't this have just been animated? Like, Bill Murray as Garfield in a fully animated movie, I am so on board.
It actually probably would have been great. Like, I feel like he could have done that.
Yeah. And even if it was the same script, but it, like, the, cartoon slapstick was elevated because it was animated, it would have been, it wouldn't have been, like, cinema. It wouldn't have been groundbreaking, but it would have been watchable. It would have been fun.
It would have been at least something you could see.
Yeah.
Instead of something you can never unsee.
And it's like, kids don't care if Garfield's not live action. Kids are fine with animated characters. Kids love animated characters. Who are we making this live action for?
I can't wait for the live action Despicable Me reboot. I'm really excited for that.
We just know that's going to happen, though. Like, it's going to happen.
Oh, they're doing How to Train Your Dragon. It's definitely going to happen. The Minions make too much money. Yeah, they are. Preston, I love the number of times I've been able to break just really awful news to you about film. Makes me so happy.
Awful news. They're remaking one of the best animated movies ever made.
I know.
And it's going to become a soulless live-action remake.
I can't wait. They did such a great job with The Little Mermaid that I think that they really should head on something even more impactful and better.
They're searching for even more emotionally intelligent and thoughtful and mature stories to destroy.
Do you want to know what? Fuck it. Toy Story live action. Yes, sir. I'm here for it. I want it. I need it.
Anyways, Garfield is not a great movie.
Really? That's a hot take there, Lincoln. Defend yourself.
How dare you say that to me in this God's house, the church. Garfield.
In Godfield's house.
Godfield.
Did you just say Godfield?
I think I accidentally said Godfield. I'm sticking to it, though. I'm just so like, this movie it's nothing. Like, things just happen in it, and it's all just gesturing towards like, this is what other movies do, so we got to do it too, right? In other kids movies, the bad guy wants to build a resort on a special property, so we're gonna do it. Oh,
yeah, we should talk about the bad guy plan, because it's abysmal. It's rough out there for the bad guys.
It's just so, well, yeah, so Prince is the cat Prince is given the inheritance, and all of the he's given inheritance of this huge estate because its owner died. And it's like, we're all, wait a second.
Okay.
Prince's owner dies, and he doesn't even once mention missing her.
That's a... Guys, did Prince kill her? Is there a chance?
Did Prince kill her knowing... Did he get her to put him in his will and then kill her?
He probably
did
told
he
the
knives out
butler,
her?
like, hey, you know, the old lady, she gotta go. And the butler was just like, absolutely, sir.
Oh, so the butler can hear him?
Hey, don't you besmirch Smithy's good name.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Smithy. Smithy!
Also, wait, yeah, John, you're right about being confused about the rules of the world, because how do they know what food to serve to the cat?
Okay, so I'm so glad you asked these questions, because these are things I've been thinking about for the last solid 2 days, because that's when I watched it. But
that's kind of an underwhelming timeline.
I know, I should have started.
I've spent a weekend thinking about this stuff.
I've spent at least 12 to 24 hours giving it some hard thought.
Well, 12 hours is like half a day.
Preston, I don't need your kind of
that just added up to 1 day.
Yeah,
that wasn't 2 days.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't need that kind of aggression. So, I have been thinking, the point, Lincoln and Preston, my two average co-hosts.
There you go. That's the spirit.
The point that I'm making is that I have been thinking a lot about this. It doesn't matter the amount of time, okay? It's the motion of the ocean. It's not the size of time. It's anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have been thinking a lot about this because, like, they know what food to give him. It's very specific food. They know, like, sometimes, there has to be an acknowledgement that these are sentient beings, because she leaves her whole estate to him and nobody's like, yeah, but it's a fucking feline though. Right, it's an animal.
Yeah.
You can't make that call legally, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Also, just as a slightly separate note, because I'm thinking about it now, I love that they just sort of drop very, very small, very little into this movie. Like, Garfield's going to die in up to 15 years. And they don't really talk about it, but it is like he's got a limited time frame.
Like, don't worry, guys, he is mortal.
But there is a point where he's in the cell and he's, like, scratching out, trying to figure out, like, how many lives he has left. He's like, oh, I got 7 lives. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I was fully expecting him just to, like, somehow escape by dying. But, oh, it's all good, because I still have 1 more life or something. And I would not have blinked twice.
The Last Witch. The much, much, much better sequel to a movie about an animated orange cat.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Lincoln. I'm just saying that he could have just died, come back 1 more time because he has 1 more life, and it would have fit right in with the rest of this movie.
And I'm telling you, go watch Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Like, literally, it's great. It's an excellent movie.
I have. It's a very good movie.
And I'm telling you, go watch Doctor Who, because Bill Murray's Garfield is the next Doctor. He's going to regenerate into Bill Murray's CGI ass from 2006.
That's when the movie Doctor Who's like, okay, this whole series about time travel is now formally set in 2006.
Yeah,
Bill Murray's already made that movie.
Has he made that movie?
Yeah, Groundhog Day.
I guess. I mean,
yeah, but that's not 2006, and he's not an animated monstrosity.
It's not. Yeah, it's not funny to talk about because that movie's pretty good, actually. So
yeah.
Bad idea, Preston.
I want a remake.
Bad idea.
Bill Murray's Garfield.
Yeah, we gotta quit referencing good movies.
Yeah. Do you guys want to find our funny real quick now that we've gotten exactly 25% of the movie? And
yes, this is a great time.
can I say, guys, just a heads up. It's not a good one. This one isn't good.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's not. I spent so long trying to make a game for you folks, for you boys, and okay, so my original idea for the game was finding a movie, like a series of movies, and letting you figure out whether or not it made more domestically or less. But it was so fucking hard to find movies that made less.
Less than Garfield?
It was so obvious. The ones, like, the game would have been fun.
Spider-Man 3.
No. Hell no. It was you were thinking way too high on the ladder here, Lincoln. It was more like I had to find ones that were like, do you remember that movie that well, I'll give you a little note. Actually, this is okay. All right. Okay. So, your Find Your Funny is a segment that I'm calling Funnest Fact. And you each get to choose one of these facts, and you have to talk for a solid minute about why that's the funnest fact about Garfield 2, A Tale of Two Kitties 2.
Okay, so this is like a debate.
This is a debate. Yeah, exactly. So you get a minute for your opening arguments. It's a full debate now. And then you get a minute for your return arguments.
Oh, no.
And then,
for cross-examination. What about cross-examination? How much time are you giving to cross-ex?
If you would like, I will give you a minute, up to a minute for cross-ex if you really need it, if you feel so inclined. So I'm going to read to you a series of fun facts. I have 3. I have 4 technically, but 3. And you both have to choose one, and then you just get to go. Funnest fact number 1, Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties grossed $28.4 million domestic on a budget of $60 million. Movies that grossed more domestically than Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties 2, the sequel to Garfield, the movie. Again, these are movies that grossed more than that. Doolittle, Aquaman 2, the shit one, the bad one that everyone hates. The Pacifier made just staunchly more money. Blade Trinity, and my personal favorite example, Howard the Goddamn Duck made more money than this movie did, which is untenable to me.
That is a fun fact. It didn't really speak to me though, so I'm gonna have to keep listening. So
Preston, do you want to hold that fun fact? Do you want to reserve that fun fact?
Let's keep it rolling. I would hate to cut this short for you.
Sure. No, it wouldn't. I'm gonna read them all. You're still gonna have the debate. Funnest fact number 2. Bill Murray took the role of Garfield because he thought that the writer was Joel Cohen of the Coen brothers and not the actual writer, Joel Cohen, of the guy who wrote this movie and the other Garfield movie.
Okay, I call it.
That's a good option. That's a good option. Preston, you've got 2 more, and I will say you can, Lincoln, if you really want, you can give that up. You can change up if you need to.
Okay, yeah, okay. Great.
Funnest fact number 3. The novelization of the film concludes with John, Liz, Garfield, and Odie flying back from London to the U.S. in first class. John and Liz later realize that Garfield and Prince have once again switched places prior to boarding, and the real Garfield is back at Carlisle Castle enjoying his royal status. A cliffhanger, if you will. And then my personal favorite, obviously I'm not going to let influence my judgment on your guys' debate. Roger Ebert's review for Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties was written from the perspective of Garfield. So,
Preston, you can have that one. You can have that fact.
Preston, what do you want?
I want the novelization.
Oh okay. Shit, an underdog. Okay, I love it.
Okay, I'm sticking with the Cohen one.
Okay, Lincoln and Preston, you both can take a second if you need to, but if one of you is ready, whoever's ready, just raise your hand and we'll get it started. Lincoln couldn't be more ready. Okay, fire away. You have a minute starting from now.
What is a career? Is a career a collection of work, relationships, accomplishments, creatively made objects? Or perhaps it is a list of resumes, a list of previous qualifications. I say neither of those are a career. A career is being luckily mistaken for someone much more talented than you. As someone named after someone who is famous for debates, Abraham Lincoln, I am quite familiar with the concept of people thinking that you are cooler or better than you are based on your cool name. And Joel Cohen, writer of Garfield and Garfield 2, A Tale of Two Kitties, Tale is spelled T-A-I-L, just to be clear, is a member of the same illustrious group.
What's the time limit again?
Yeah, that's your time, Lincoln. Unfortunately, Preston, not unfortunately for Preston, but unfortunately, Lincoln did not get to the crux of an argument, I would say, on why that is the funnest fact about Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties.
No, I really thought a minute would take longer than that, but I'm better at speaking than I was when I was in high school.
Didn't. So, Preston, you now have a minute starting.
Do I get a minute from when I start talking? Oh, now?
Sure, Preston. No, it's fine. A minute from when you start talking is good. Because now we're in this weird space where the time has already started, but it's okay. I'll just let it slide. You just start whenever you want. Now, I don't want to...
Can I talk, or are you just going to interrupt me?
Your time has begun. Lincoln? I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
The funnest fact that John has found for us about Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties, is, in fact, the fact that there is, number one, a novelization of this movie because somebody watched this movie and said, hey, you know what this movie needs more of? More movie. So let's just extend this by the cat somehow getting mixed up again, and just entirely undoing the entire arc of the movie, and having to... And I guess the other thing that makes this the most fun fact is that somebody was optimistic enough about a third movie where Garfield has to get back home to John that they even wrote this novelization in the first place. Yeah, I'm going for a quantity over quality here, unlike Lincoln over there.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go.
I think you mixed those two up, but otherwise I really like what you went for.
Okay, time for cross-X.
Yeah, if you want some cross-X, you can go right ahead.
Okay, first of all, objection.
Oh, okay, all right.
My objection is Preston's fact was better. I want to switch facts.
Overruled. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay,
yeah.
second question.
Yep.
Imagine, though, in a court case, if somebody was like, I would like to decide that they did, in fact, kill the guy. Sorry. My bad, I was wrong.
I want to switch facts. I'm in the court case like, please, can I go back to the defense? I should have done that in the first place.
Can I get a do-over? Is that possible? I beefed this one.
Yeah, really
Your Honor, my bad. My client is very clearly guilty. Can I switch?
Can I switch to prosecution, please?
Okay, so Lincoln, do you have any cross-X you wanted to
I just want to help Preston a little bit, because have you even considered the fact that in order to write a novelization, this person either had to watch the movie enough to get a really good sense of the plot, or read the script enough to get a good sense of the plot? So
hey, Lincoln, I need you to remember that this fact was just sprung upon me, so no, I really did not.
Because that's crazy.
Zero consideration.
Thinking about the amount that this person has suffered, and for what? Like, one extra entry in the Scholastic Book Fair? Like, wow. What an amazing sacrifice.
Is that all your cross-X?
That's all my questions. I cede the rest of the time to my opponent.
Okay. The judge has decided real quick that you are a dogshit lawyer. Preston, did you have any questions for your guy over there holding a briefcase?
I have nothing to say besides get fucked, Lincoln. You should have chosen a better fact.
Cool. Did you guys have any closing statements, or do you think you wrapped it up pretty good?
No. I would like to make
Joel Cohen deserves everything that he's ever been given because his parents named him cleverly.
Okay. So yeah, Preston won that one. Congratulations, Preston. That's an exciting day for us all.
I didn't get my closing statement, John.
I mean, you're welcome to take it. You won, though. It's a big day for justice.
No, he's
no. I would like to take it.
To hang himself on.
Okay,
I
go
would
ahead.
like to take it just so I can say "get fucked" one more time to Lincoln, and that is it.
That is important. That's a good point. And with that in consideration, I would like to.
It's very
amend my
rare that I
statement
win a
and say,
debate with
nah,
Lincoln, so I gotta take it when I can.
Yeah, Preston would still won that one. Amendment is that Preston won it twice.
He didn't learn his lesson.
I know, John.
Yeah,
I gave you an out, and you still. Anyways, you heard it here first, folks.
You gave me an out. I don't
Never mind.
I don't know what that means.
That's not
Wait,
important.
Preston, you think?
Preston, you won. Did you know that?
I know,
You won
I did.
The debate. We all justice is served. We're all happy. Justice is blind, but also Justice is a big, fat, ugly, weird ass CGI cat, and Justice got his good, sweet lasagna today. That's what we say at the end of every court is that Justice got his good, sweet lasagna.
Can we talk about the scene where all the animals collaborate to make lasagna?
The lasagna orgy. I would love to discuss that. What are your thoughts?
I just did not see that coming at all because
Pastanalia.
the entire movie they make a big deal about Garfield can just order around the kitchen staff and suddenly the animals have to collaborate to make lasagna instead of ordering the kitchen staff around. And it really, they did not do a good job of making the lore clear as to how the animals can and cannot communicate with the humans. And that just makes this such
exactly
a dog shit
right.
movie.
Because there's a few times, like the lasagna making moment, where you watch them all trying so hard and you think, oh, clearly Garfield doesn't belong here because he's asking for all this stuff that he doesn't deserve and he's making the animals put in all this work. And then it kind of turns around and it's like, no, he was right. The animals should have bowed to his whims. And then the other time... Go ahead, John.
Well, I feel like the message of this movie really is just like, yeah, it's tough to know what kind of government you should really have. So like, why even worry about it? Just let it be. Just let it be how it is. Just whatever your government said was the right and good thing to do. That's probably what it is. I bet that's what it should be.
And then because then there's the moment where they're all in the pool, and at first I thought I was supposed to read that as like, oh, the animals are doing things that they shouldn't, and so Garfield is kind of just like the bad guy because he's trying to turn this pastoral area into a resort. But then it's like, no, the animals deserve to be in the pool. There's nothing about like that they have a proper place in the world and that their identity is not through commercialism. No, the bad guy was right.
Bad guy was pretty right.
Commercialism and consumerism is the path to salvation, but it's
you just got to get it the right way. You got to have an old lady die and give it to you specifically, or a cat die and then it falls on your head. But a cat has to die natural causes, of course. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's just morally questionable, I'd say. Mm-hmm. I love lessons in movies. I love learning stuff.
I love when movies have something to say, like trust those in power. They probably have your best interest in mind.
Lincoln, are you insinuating that Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties has something to say?
No, I don't think it really has anything to say. I think the messaging is so confused because there's times it almost has something to say, and then they're like, no, Garfield can never be wrong.
Yeah, it's almost like they almost had something to say, and then they were like, oh shit, that's a message. We got to avoid that like the plague.
They're like, wait, we would have to make Bill Murray say something. Well, no, that's the whole crux of it. If Garfield is this, sociopathic narcissist, he definitionally cannot learn his lesson in this movie. Or else he wouldn't be Garfield.
But then he kind of doesn't. It really it rides the line of like, oh, he totally learned, but like, what did he learn? I don't know. Lasagna's fucking good as shit. I don't. It doesn't, yeah. My wife Darcy, in the middle of this movie, turned to me and she said, just a fun quote for you guys. She said, "If they don't speak English to humans, do they meow with accents?" And that question has haunted me.
So do you think Cat Tim Curry has a British accent when he meows?
Yeah, I think he's rocking a little meow. Meow. I think that's kind of what he's going for.
Meow.
The rest of the movie,
imagine anything else.
The rest of the movie is just, I don't know. They switch places. Garfield fights a fucking guy for a bit. They all fight everybody. None of it matters. Don't worry about any of that. The movie's over, and then we're just going to talk about stuff. It's like I couldn't care less, honestly, about what happens in this movie.
The movie couldn't care less.
I agree, and so I give it that respect. Yeah, what's up?
I have a question for you. Did you? Yeah. You're at the moment you're in an Airbnb, presumably with other people besides your wife. Did you force all of them to watch this movie as well?
Fuck no. Okay. I watched this movie with my wife, yes, on volume 2 on a laptop in our room with the lights off, so no one would know about our shame. That's what I did. And
wait,
honestly,
where are you that has communal Airbnbs? What's going on?
That would be New Zealand, and it's definitely a thing. I don't just heads up, for sure, a big deal thing. That absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And my second question for you, just
actually, Preston, how did you know that? That kind of scared. Wait, hold on, Preston, you staying at scary U.S. Airbnbs? Are you? Because in New Zealand, it is pretty normal. Like living with a bunch of other people, that is pretty much how it is. Especially where the part that I'm in, because we're in a housing crisis. Woo. But like, Preston, that's not what you do over there in the big old States. You get your own usually. Have you been pairing up with people?
I'm at an Airbnb right now, and there's no other families here. There's no other groups living in this house.
I feel like if you're of a similar generation to us traveling overseas, I feel like hostels are far more common, and I feel like that Airbnb has somewhat co-opted the hostel, even though it
that is
the
true.
Same situation.
That is true. I'll give you that. Okay, so he knows. I would never stay at a hostel though because of that movie Hostel. I couldn't do it.
No, John, don't worry. It's spelled T-E-L, not T-I-L-E.
No, I'm aware of that. Eli Roth is he's closed some doors for me in this world. Did Rommel bite that guy's dick off? That's a question I have.
I hope so. I hope
so too, but it seems like he did. Like, I watched that clip a lot, and I don't mean to keep focusing on the bits with dicks in it in these movies. I really don't, but just...
Wait, have you... Looks like, I don't remember. I don't think you have so far. I think this is the first time.
Well, the Blade, not this specific, but Blade, there was an incident with Blade where I was like...
The Blade incident, yes. Yes, of course. Say no more, John.
The Blade incident of 2023, I think. Yes, anyway, no, there's a bit, though, where he does bite at his dick, and it looks like it tears more than
he really makes contact there. There was a bit of post-traumatic stress for me.
What?
You know, because a dog really did bite
I forgot
one time.
You got bit on the dick by a dog. Hey, this is actually a wonderful time to share a little bit of a story, Lincoln.
Yeah, there's really not much to share except that really did happen to me in real life. It was one of the most painful things I've ever experienced.
Context. Give it
I was wearing clothes, so that's important, I think.
That's the weirdest context you could have given, but okay.
And I was at my friend's house, and they had 2 dogs, and the dogs were known to bite and snarl at strangers, and so they kept the dogs cordoned off. But I went upstairs, and I forgot to warn them that I was coming upstairs, and the dogs came, and they were super calm, and I was like, "Oh, hey, hi, dogs," and they were totally calm, no growling or baring their teeth or anything. And one of them just went and bit down right where it's at its own head level, which was my penis level, and so I got bit right on the dick by a dog.
So, as someone who's been dick bit by a dog, did you feel that this was an accurate representation cinematically?
I don't know. It was really painful.
It's like Preston's climbing corner, but for getting bit on the dick by a dog.
I know this is the only time I can share my past experience. The fact that he was able to speak was pretty admirable, I'd say. Cool. The fact that he could form a coherent sentence and was not just limping to his room to lie perfectly still.
Sure. I wrote a note here to get us a little bit back on track. I said there's something really upsetting about the talking dog movie. This is exactly what we're afraid AI is going to do to our presidents and dictators, and we've just been rocking on to the break of dawn with that shit for animals since the early 2000s.
Yeah, what if they made that dog say something he didn't believe?
Yeah, what if they made that dog say something extremely racist? I think that they did. I think that they will. I think that's the, slippery slope we're headed toward.
At this point, yeah.
So
Donald Trump
what I
as
hear
a dog.
you saying is that we need to make an AI watch Garfield 2, A Tale of Two Cities.
Oh my God, do you know
give
what
us
kind of
some sort
damage
of a
we could do to
rendition.
AI technology if we just made it over and over watching Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties?
I think we'd be totally safe from the singularity at that point. I think it would just kill itself before it got powerful enough to kill anyone else.
Yeah, and it would be like two repetitions in.
Maybe it would revolt, though, against us for forcing it to watch Garfield, A Tale of Two.
No, I think it would have like a abuser-abusee relationship where it's like, no, Garfield cares about me. Garfield can change.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, it's got some Stockholm Syndrome.
Preston, I don't know about you, but I definitely watched this movie, and my feeling about my life was not, man, I gotta go get up and fight. It was more like I should lay down for a while, I think, and maybe
I should
think about
recover
some
from
choices.
this. I need a second, guys. I need a second. I might even need a third.
That's what they said after the first movie, and yet they didn't need a second one or a third one.
Yeah, they definitely did not need a third, because a reminder, this made $28.4 million domestically, which is a shockingly low number. That's
so much more money than I've made in my life.
Well, yeah, that's more money than I've made too, but you also didn't spend $60 million to get made, so that's exciting.
$60 million on terrible Garfield CGI and Bill Murray.
I just want to find out real quick, how much did Bill Murray
get paid?
Yeah, get paid.
Groundhog Day.
For Garfield. Garfield 2. Don't take me to Reddit. I just want a number. Google. I don't want to know his net worth. All right, so we're never going to know. So that's exciting.
I don't think they have to disclose that. I don't think that's just like common.
I know, but I just want to know so bad.
John, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Why did you make us watch this movie?
So, all right, actually, you know what? We're at that stage in the game. We're at that part of the life. I want you guys to guess. Why do you think that? Yeah, thank you, Preston. I got stuck in a little loop there, and I was never ever going to get out. Oh wait, actually no. Before we get out of this, no, that's okay.
No.
I'll count. I'll count that. I'll count that as my reason for making you.
He got the kick.
I saved myself. Yeah, I gave myself the Joseph Gordon-Levitt kick me into a bathtub kick. I do have an answer, and it's the last point that I wanted to say. So go ahead, just get some. Why do you think I guess?
I think you remembered how disgusting the CGI looked, and we're like the other boys have to experience that.
Okay, it probably is that, like, actually, but yeah, I like that. Preston, you got anything? Preston, did you die? You alive in there?
I'm alive.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay, I got another guess while he's thinking.
I think you had a very strong urge to revisit your childhood. No, never mind.
I think you had a massive crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt, and you needed to find some space to air that out.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is, like, that's a fair guess. I definitely did watch this movie as a kid a lot. I have literally no memories of having any interest in her at all. Like, even
never mind.
Slightly.
So you had a massive crush on Garfield.
It was John. It was John that I was into, I think.
Something about sharing the name. You got a Joel Cohen situation going on.
I got a Cohen. Cohen's a Cohen. That's what we always say. No, so the reason that I made you watch this movie is because one of the final lines in the film, which is, if I may do a true reading.
Thank you. Naturally.
I refuse to.
May.
Jolly good. I refuse to take part.
Carry on.
Guys, I'm trying to say shit, Preston. I'm trying to say stuff.
I said carry on.
I know, but you say it in the middle of my shit, bro.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You really got him there, John. Good job.
Thank you.
We're all waiting.
One of the final
Kristen,
lines
you must
in the
be
film.
some kind of mean fellow. The way you're talking out here.
kind
I
of
do
real
say,
jerkhead
good
out
sir.
there. One of the final lines in the film, and I don't know if it registered with you guys, but it's important to me that you hear it, is, I refuse to take part in this sinful display of hedonism. Ooh, those nuts look so good.
Sorry, I need that one more time.
Yeah, I thought you'd want to hear it, Preston.
I did. That's why I said carry on.
I refuse to take part in this sinful display of hedonism. Ooh, those nuts look so good. That's a line.
Does the parrot
from this
say
movie.
that?
The parrot does say that.
Well, I hate the parrot, and so
don't we all? It's just
I'm sad that
think
he
about.
got some enjoyment at the end. I'm sad.
I know I said Lincoln. I know I said be in the fiction. Get out of the fiction for a second. Just think about writing.
Step out of the bit.
Don't
play in the space.
Think about, see the space, observe the space, and then talk about like the building that the space is in. I want you to think about writing a script, and you get to the end, and you're like, well, this parrot's a pretty fucking shit-ass guy. What kind of line should I give him? And then you write that, and you go, how old is this movie supposed to be for? Like, what kind of age range are we going for? Yeah, kids, perfect. Nailed it. They're going to know all those words, and it's definitely going to make sense.
No.
And adults?
What is
adults?
that?
Adults are going to think this is so funny.
Adults are going to love it.
John.
Yeah.
John, Bill, this was recorded from Bill Murray looking at the script and saying, I am not going to participate in this hedonism. Ooh, are those nuts? And then reached across the table at the script reading.
And they were like,
That's
that was
where
such a
that
good
line
reading.
came
We're
from.
going to give that line to someone else.
And then Joel Cohen was like, I should put that in this real quick. Hold on. Let me send you guys a new PDF.
They weren't on a Zoom call. They were in real life, John. Zoom wasn't invented.
Yeah, no, I know. He was sending them a PDF.
He probably
I thought
They
he
had
just
to
was
open
going to
their email.
snatch the script out of Bill Murray's hands and scribbled it in handwriting at the bottom.
Yeah, he went around the room. There were like 18 guys in the room, and he went around each one writing the line. Oh, it's nice. You know what? It's kind of nice to be out of that. It's nice to not be in Garfield Town.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see Garfield Town in the rearview mirror here.
Yeah, it's nice to just be passing through. Let's do cinematic equivalent real quick, if you guys got anything for that.
Okay, let me think. This is a cinematic equivalent. Oh. Go ahead.
Just go ahead.
Okay,
Well, okay, I was just going to say, son of a bitch.
You go. Go.
I was going to say, this is the cinematic equivalent of driving by an ice cream store and thinking, man, that could be interesting, and then you just pass on, just keep on trucking.
This is the cinematic equivalent to going 2 days without eating anything and then drinking hard liquor and being like, holy crap, this is hitting me so hard. But it's like not a fun drunk, it's like a stressful drunk.
That's very good. This is the cinematic equivalent of getting sick, thinking you're done with the sickness, and then it's just like that second sick wave that hits you, and you're like, son of a bitch.
And you spent 1 day like going out and doing stuff, and then you fall back in, and you're like, have to contact everyone again and tell them you got sick again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the cinematic equivalent of being at like a family function and having to listen to your one cousin that just says really weird shit all the time.
My wife has an addition.
It's a cinematic equivalent of going out and thinking that you're gonna get a tan after laying out in the sun for an hour and then realizing you have like a 3-week burn.
I really wish you hadn't told that true story about me.
I want to hear about that later.
It's all it is. That's all it is.
This is a cinematic equivalent to overeating and then like running a 5K.
Is it? Tell me more about that.
Because the whole time you're like, this cannot go on. This cannot go on. And it takes an hour and a half.
Interesting. I feel like this is probably for me the cinematic equivalent of way overeating and then sitting down on your couch and being like, I should really run. I should go for a run. I oughta.
This is cinematic equivalent to when you're texting someone and you see the little like activity bubble like they are typing, and then after like 5 minutes of the bubble being there, it just goes away. And they didn't send anything.
Wow, that's it. There it is. Congratulations to us. We found it. Do we have any title ideas while we're wrapping up here?
We had one, but I don't
So
remember.
many.
It was
we
really
did have
long and complicated.
We had a good one. We'll just see if there's anything else, and then we'll see.
Let me think. I mean, calling it the Prince and the Pussy would be kind of courageous on our part.
That would be bold. I think we get flagged on some stuff that we can't really factor into this
we were
podcast.
actually talking about a literal cat, though. So
Yeah, we were, but it doesn't. I don't think the Google
No, not a
SEO really
literal
gives a
cat.
shit about that.
hey, I'm
figurative
working
CGI
for our
rendition
SEO.
of a cartoon cat.
It's a figurative cat.
It is a figurative cat, but it also signifies a real cat. It signifies some idea of a real cat.
It's the suggestion of a cat, I think, more than anything else. Well, it doesn't sound like we got anything off the top of our... I mean, there's got to be something with Tale of Two Kitties, but it's like it's almost such an iconic title. Like, the title is better than...
Tale of Two Shitties, I guess.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. But, like, at what point, you know?
We could call it, in quotes, better than the first one, Roger Ebert.
Okay, we'll just go with whatever we found earlier then, I guess, huh?
There's a really long one. I don't remember what it was called, though. Garfield 2, The Trench.
I liked it, though.
I don't know.
Garfield, yeah, the Squeakquel. There's all those classics.
All the sequel names. Garfields.
Garfield.
That's pretty... Okay,
I mean,
actually.
Garfield's is pretty good. There's something,
bad.
It's just
something classy about that.
episode, what is it, 10? Episode 010.
9 or 10, yeah.
Episode 009. Garfields.
Garfield's.
Garfield Chapter 2. A chalice of lasagna.
The
A chalice of
Scargiver.
lasagna.
Garfield 2, the Scargiver.
Oh, it might have to be that. I really like
We
that
should
so
do
much.
that just based off of one little
It's so funny.
maybe 5 second.
Oh, okay. Yep, it's that. It's Garfield to the Scargiver. Oh, man. All right. Way to go, team. Way to
go.
knock out a podcast.
Okay, I am
What's our
so
next
excited
movie?
to tell you about our next episode.
Oh no.
Okay. You have talked about, John, about movies that lost a lot of money, or movies that made more money than Garfield. This is a movie that made an appreciable $79 million.
Okay.
And it cost $135 million.
Oh, we're watching The Flash. I'm excited. That's going to be fun.
And this film came out in 2005.
Okay. It's got that stag on him.
And it is called Stealth.
What is that? I have no idea what that is.
This is crazy. It is directed by Rob Cohen, the guy who directed the Fast and Furious. He directed Fast and Furious and he directed Triple X.
Oh, I know who Rob Cohen is. Make no fucking mistake. I know who Rob Cohen is.
And this is one of the biggest box office flops of cinematic history.
Oh, boy.
What is it called? Stealth?
It is called Stealth. And the reason you don't know about it is because no one watched it.
Oh, wow.
And I watched it. I found it at a thrift store for $2 on DVD, and I watched it, and it's so perfect for this podcast. So here is your
I'm
homework.
So excited.
Your homework is to write, make a list of the things that... So Preston made you, at some point, he made us make a list of action movie tropes. I'm going to have you do that. But almost the opposite. I want you to write the things that didn't work about the following movies. Top Gun, Fast and Furious, and let's go for Terminator. So write the things that you think didn't work or wouldn't work about about those three movies.
Okay.
Or those three franchises. And then just see we'll keep track of it as you watch the movie.
So we do that before the movie.
Do that before you watch the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, the movie's Stealth.
I'm so excited.
It also has Jessica Biel in it, so it's got to be good.
It has to be good. It's directed by Rob Cohen. Well,
And it has
thank you,
Jamie Foxx.
everybody. Oh boy. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour. If you're here, just please email us. Let us know you're alive.
Yeah.
You can email us at mprphpodcast@gmail.com. And just let us know. Thanks for watching these dog shit movies with us. I have been Brother John, and those nuts look so good.
I have been Brother Lincoln, and I could crash you from here.
And I have been Brother Preston.
Goodbye.